Hey there, guys. TD Wells, founder of Wells Media AI. I want to thank you for joining in again today. So I am going to get right to it. This is going to be a short. This is going to be a short video. However, I do have one bonus video after this that I'm going to share with you guys that I think would really be beneficial to a smaller dealership that's really trying to grow and kind of take over, not necessarily take over, but basically really get their name out there, because I found that there's not a lot of just businesses in general, but a lot of especially dealers, they're only sending people to their website. So what we want to do is we want to build a higher quality lead and not one that's just kind of going from one website to the next to see if they can get approved. And by the time they get to you, well, their credit has been run up to the point where they probably won't be able to purchase. And that's not always the case. I'm just saying that you always want to be the first one to reach out and always use the form of communication that the person is reaching out to you on. So again, just to reiterate that, if they're reaching out to you by phone, well, you probably should just really respond to them by phone. Don't send them an email, because that's how they prefer to communicate. Everybody has their different means of communication. If they're sending you a text, well, if you have their text, if you have their information, that's even better, because now you can text them, and that's how they prefer to communicate. Same thing goes with email. It's however they communicate with you is the way that you need to instantaneously, as soon as you get that lead, whoever's in your department that's handling that piece needs to respond right away. And that's something I don't need to tell any dealership, so to speak. But for the most part, I think that is definitely something that's lacking in many car dealerships. And so what I want to do with you today is, like I said, it's going to be a little bit shorter than normal, but man, it's going to be a little juicy so you get an understanding of what it is that you need to do. This is totally unedited. There's no editing here. And I'm just basically posting to really help people understand. This is more of a slide deck to help you improve the quality, not really going into Facebook and showing you, but in actuality, this is our proprietary, our system that we're using to find the ideal client, to help you or anyone find their ideal client inside of their business, to get them to come, if it's a Honda store, specifically coming on that particular Honda. You don't have to use VIN numbers or anything. It's going to find that person that's looking for that Honda Accord, Civic, Passport, CRV, whatever it may be, Honda related. Or if you're trying to sell something else, same thing goes for independents. If you're just selling used cars, same process. Okay. So 7 ways to improve the Facebook lead quality is going to be, the first way is just turn on higher intent forms. Basically use the lead form, but in conjunction with, if you're only wanting to show just your website and your manufacturer didn't approve, you being able to create multiple sites, if you will, that have all of your cars displayed, I would certainly absolutely say that you would need to have higher intent for lead forms. Okay. And what you'd want to do is, let me show you that. You could see right here, it says more volume and it says higher intent. So you can use these two here, and you certainly can actually plug into the system in here, and you can use our forms. But if you're going to go inside of Facebook, then you just need to select which one is it going to be, the volume or is it going to be higher intent. Okay. Second one's going to be ask a short answer that is similar to the auto-filled info if on more volume. So what I mean by that, if it's on more volume, you'd have to actually ask them for more information here. So you choose the type of information you need. So you would go full name, email, phone number, and then you would ask more questions related to the buying experience so that you can basically get an understanding. Because if you're not going to use a landing page or any kind of conversion tracking pixels, then you would need to have a form that actually asks very specific questions. And then what our system would do is it would find those people, show them the form, show them the car that you're trying to offer or sell, or cars, plurals. It would show them those vehicles, and then it would basically get them to fill out this information. That's how you create higher intent. You have to ask more questions. And then you wouldn't want to make your form so that way they're not fake or they're not lower intent lead. You certainly would want to have some type of captcha on it so that way a bot wouldn't be able to fill that out. And right now, at least, but if you, that's how you would identify that. But you would just make your questions a lot longer, so that way you're getting real people. Okay, and again, that's going to be way less friction and less, like I said, more questions you add, the better. It says down here, in my opinion, I don't agree with this part, and I believe that it says if you ask less questions, there's less friction. But you need to know a little bit more about, and I agree and I disagree. It depends. And that's going to, and then let me explain I'm just going to kind of elaborate on that a little bit more. It depends on if you've already shown them something before they get to this form. That would mean less friction. But if you haven't shown them anything, they're just seeing a picture of a vehicle and they've already read some parts of the ad, so to speak, then yeah, you would make it a little bit longer, asking more questions related to if they are interested in doing a credit app, or if they've already been to other dealers, or if this is the only car they're interested, like those kind of things, right? Just keep it simple. So what you would want to do to actually get really good results is you would want to, right here, it says remove Facebook and in-stream video placement. I think this is the mistake a lot of people make, is that they have the in-stream video checked, and you don't want to have the in-stream video because in actuality, most people are not really looking at that part, and especially in the marketplace. But we do have a marketplace box check, so you do want to show that in there. And in my opinion, if you're not running Instagram ads, you definitely want to uncheck the boxes of Instagram and use that and run that as a separate ad campaign. I would certainly use ad sets, and we can talk about that later. We'll show you. I'll probably do another video on ad sets. That's probably going to be inside of the YouTube channel. And by the way, if you see that, if you found that some of this, most of the stuff that we're talking about, and the majority of it is good, just please subscribe, and that way we can put out more video. This is going, I mean, I've been on YouTube for a very long time, just not really posting any real data on there or information that's going to really help businesses, especially in the spaces that I've been in. I really love to share a lot of the things that I'm showing here. And again, some people might know it, some people might not. If you do, great. If you don't, great. Either way, I'm just wanting to share my input and my information that I've been working on for the last, say, 5 years inside Facebook. Okay, so with that being said, add a greeting into your lead form. It's very important. And inside of your lead form, it says right here, what we're going to run ads with AI. We're just using that as an example, but definitely want to have a greeting. You want to have a headline. That's what people are going to see. And to keep it simple, you just want to follow the prompts. And most of those prompts will tell you that you only have a certain amount of characters to add in here. So make sure you follow that. That's extremely important. And again, this video is very short. In turn, I believe that this will get any independent store and any franchise store a lot of traction if done right. If you follow this process, I can assure you will get. I'm not making any claims. I'm saying that I can assure you will get a lot of traction from this. And adjust your audience targeting. So what you don't want to do is, you see there's retargeting, there's lookalikes, there's detailed interest. Here's what I found is that most of the time we're not even really focused on finding the ideal, we're not focused on finding an ideal client. We're actually going after new ones, which is fine. That's fine. You should have a campaign that focuses on new clients as well, obviously. I think, but most importantly is that you need to really focus on the leaky bucket of individuals that didn't purchase from you. We want to retarget those individuals. And then we want to create a lookalike. So in other words, we would have 3 targets that we're focusing on, and those would be under the ad set. So we would create 3 ad sets, meaning there would be 3 ads underneath one ad set, so to speak, or 3 ad sets. And so the way that it would work is one would be retargeting, one would be a lookalike campaign, and one would be one that you uploaded into the system from, like, say, your Excel spreadsheet or your data inside of Facebook. And it would basically track those individuals. Of course, if you had some kind of conversion pixel, if you understand how to create that, that's a whole nother topic on understanding how to track people and how to track your conversions. And if you don't have a tracking pixel to do that, then that's where lead forms come in, because you do not need a tracking pixel for lead forms. Going back and digressing, you can just create the lead form, and then it'll basically give us some insight of what's been happening on that particular ad that has the lead form. But if you want a tracking conversion, then you would use a landing page. So let's say, for example, one would be your retargeting, and that retargeting could be your lead form. Let's say the lookalike campaigns had a conversion pixel, and you were using a very specific landing page that you wanted to send people to. And let's just say the last thing is your detailed interests, where maybe you're sending people to a credit app, and they're saying, you could say, get approved for this. Is very, very keyed in strategy that you'd be able to utilize, that we're using for dealers right now. And I'm telling you, it's working unbelievably, that people are just filling out the information. And it's not that they're wanting to, it's a very high quality lead, because what's happening is that they're giving you all the details. And if you already have a soft credit pull type situation, then you would be able to do that as well. You'd be able to know what their score is without even running the credit, and then boom, can get them in a car. If your team is that good enough that they're responding as soon as that app comes through the door. That's really the issue, I think, is that we have to have people honed in on that specific. And I always hear sometimes, well, we don't have people to call. That's really weird to me, that those leads are coming in. If you have hundreds of leads coming in and you can't call them, and you're wasting money, and they're going to go somewhere else. Somebody else will sell them a car, or they will do business with somebody else. I promise you that. So this is where, and if they can't, eventually the person that reached out to them at that point, that's probably who they're going to trust. The first person that's reached them. And I'm not saying anything new that no one knows. I'm just saying these are the strategies that need to be implemented to really, in my opinion, have successful campaigns going, where you're not investing, you're investing very minimal amount to get to make thousands, potentially, let's say on the average $2,500 to $3,500 on a car, which I'm sure it's more than that, but on average, you could really do extremely, extremely well. All right, now moving on to slide 7. Definitely want to do KAPIs, conversion APIs, and let's just read through it. Right, it says if you're running ads, this is why you need to be using the conversion API. Blue are the hits sent by the website pixel, which is what I was just talking about. It's a pixel tracking. And then green are those sent via the conversions API. And as you can see, there is a ton. I don't know why that's, excuse the spelling on that. But anyway, there's a ton of traffic and conversions missing. Using the API means lower cost per lead and better retargeting. So you can see here that, again, we said the blue are hits sent by the website pixel tracking, and green are those sent via conversions. Pretty simple. So now we know that basically these are kind of clicks, right? And that's all fine and dandy. Excuse me, that's all fine and dandy here. But we want to know what's converting, right? These are all the conversions, and this is good to know as well. Don't get me wrong. You should know what's hitting your site, and you should also be tracking that, because there should not be a third-party vendor out there tracking your data and out there holding on to your data. So that way now if it's lost or you don't have it backed up somewhere, well, they do. And that's the major problem, I think, is that with most businesses, especially car dealerships, is that their data could be lost. And the point of this is that you have tracking conversion API pixels, if you will, that will basically push them somewhere inside of your CRM or whatever you're currently using. That's the idea behind that, right? Just continually tracking everything, every metric for your business, so that you ensure success, right? The conversion goal is sent to a landing page with a lead form. So there's 3 options. So you have traffic, you have leads, and you have conversions. So these 3 right here. The third one will be conversions. And then we're going to tell it what Facebook page to send it to, which is right here. And it just says select conversion goal. and we're going to say we want leads. That's what you would want inside of Facebook. I'm going to be doing, I actually have it, I think it's on day 4, where it's showing you inside that in order to build an official ad, we're showing you how to do that. But what I will do is I will post more inside of the YouTube channel on how to build an actual ad and the proper way to go about it, right? There's so many different strategies, but I would certainly send people to a very, very specific page and have them take action on that page so that I know, hey, all of these cars that I listed, the metrics are not that great on them, but this one car out of the 10 I posted in there, there's like 3 cars that people really like, and you can use V-Auto for this very specific goal. And I kind of hit on it a little bit, like how V-Auto really could enhance the conversion strategies, especially even as a pre-owned car, even as a pre-owned dealer, certainly can use V-Auto to help you convert. And there's so many different things that I have in my brain that it's not difficult to articulate. However, I would say that if you're able to use the data from understanding which cars are and what people are more focused on, you can show those cars to that specific kind of zip code, if you will, and understanding that if there is a zip code that you're focusing on, you can continually keep showing it to those individuals, and then using the lead source that V-Auto is converting your potential client on. Okay, they came in looking at this car, and you even know what the percentage was. You know that you were at 85% of the market, 90%, whatever it was. You know what it is, and you can basically marry those two together and really do some serious damage in a good way. All right, so that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you today. If you guys ever need any assistance in setting up the proper way and really understanding how to use conversion pixels and how to use very specific landing pages with specific cars, like I can tell you right now, we can help you do that. We help you find the ideal client, not just through VIN numbers, but there's other strategies. And some people might differ. Some people might say, and other vendors and other companies might say, you can't do it that way. That's never going to work. I have proof. We have documented proof. If anyone wants to get onto a demo with us, we will show you exactly how we're using these very same strategies. And on a low key, we're not necessarily out there. We work by a lot of our business works by referrals, especially in the car industry, because we know, just kind of knowing that, hey, we can get this particular brand results. We've already done it. And now we already have the model set up for that brand. So look, I would just say keep subscribe, keep watching our videos. I am going to be the one posting the majority, all of the videos for now. But my ultimate goal is just to kind of just really get out there and really share some information that I think would save some car dealerships and maybe help some others, and maybe some others it doesn't. Whatever works for every category of what I just said is fine. I just want to be able to help as many people as I possibly can. Hopefully this was insightful, and I am looking forward to hearing from you guys. You can certainly schedule a demo at any point in time with us, and make a comment. And so you can, I know there's a lot of critics out there that have their own way and their own strategy and how they do things. You know what? Go ahead and plug in. It's fine. And we certainly welcome any and all of those. Okay. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.